Hello and welcome, Cosmic Quantum Traveler. How are you doing, beautiful souls? I hope you're doing good. Now, it's been a while again since I last recorded. I was just looking back at my last video, just at the beginning of it, before I started recording, and I kind of started it the same way. And now the question is, how far have you quantum jumped? All the way home? Because, as I've been shown and I've shared in my last few group calls, what we're accessing right now, yeah, is down to the frequency we have anchored, stabilized, and are fully in alignment with, and are now sliding into, merging with a whole new parallel version of reality. And I know it's already here. Esanate, ekanate, esunata. So the main reasons why I've been not making videos for the last 5 months have been numerous. The main one being that any content creator may have experienced this before, and it's not about content, it's just anything you write, anything you publish, when you speak to a friend, okay, it's like that, or a group of people. If you're sensitive, like many of us are, you will feel their feedback in the field. So this telepathic field of the Cosmic Emerald Heart Network, which is fully lit, just like Earth is. And the next step is for us to be fully illuminated. So this is the great awakening, truly. These are the last moments. I believe we have a geomagnetic solar storm coming online, the one we've missed. It's been a funny happening because after our last group call activation, we had this surprise solar storm that was going on for 4 days. And I know this is all part of these activations, which are super powerful. And in order to be able to have been facilitating them and keep, this is done now. Like we did it, literally. This is like missions fulfilled. We have arrived home. And the true mission is you returning to your real, true, organic God self, your own unique version of that, your own unique energy signature frequency, which is you completing the music universalis, the music of the spheres. We are sound and light fields of creation. Everything in creation is sound and light. That's what makes matter, or it's energy, frequency, and vibration. And if we are not aligned with our true self, it's like an instrument that's not being played correctly and it hurts a little bit in the ears. So, and then the whole orchestra is off tune. And it's a bit of a shit show, which is what we've been going through because people have been trying to copy other instruments or pieces of music, creations of others, instead of creating their own. So a big issue has been in the field, the observing and not taking divinely inspired action. Okay, it's this sitting on a fence, holding back, playing small. And you need to understand that this comes from massive layers of persecution, like those who are aligned to the Christic lineages, the Christ, crystalline consciousness, the gray lines. You will have been persecuted over many, many, many lifetimes. I can sing many songs about this and write many books, but I'm not going to because we're going to leave it all behind, like the bad dream that it was, and we're going to wakey and smell the coffee and wake all the way the fuck up to the real truth that's liberating and freeing us all right now. And I know the field is finally ready to hear my truth because before it was not. So every time I would do a video, or every time I still do a post, and this is why I have not published much, I just get an onslaught of freaking interference and fuckery and psychic and spiritual attacks. So with everything that's been going on, I could really do without that. So I have. Um, and it's not from the lack of wanting to, as well as, yeah, because it's the both end, as with everything, because every video I've recorded over the last many years has taken so much out of me. I've been pushing through them. Every one of them is an activation within themselves. The build up, because it's funny because I haven't done this for almost 5 months, was like, okay, here we are again, like trying to break through the whole run up to the whole me being able to even start recording. And it's always around 3 a.m. because it's just when the field is less busy. This is why I'm always like also up at night. Um, since the beginning really of my ascension journey, because this is kind of when I can really clearly like start to receive and perceive without all of the collective mush and distortions flying around, especially lately. Anyway, now there's a lot to talk about, but I'm not going to make it too long. All right. So I have, it's not that I've not been wanting to make a video. I've just literally had no energy left beyond what I've been deep diving into, which is bringing us all the way home. And I know we have done it. So yay, us. Again, this is a team effort from all of us as one. Everybody plays their role, just like in any movie. You need the good guys, the bad guys, everything in between. Okay? So everybody needs to remember now that we are all in a movie. We are all actors on a stage, as Shakespeare already knew, and we have just forgotten. And we have forgotten quite a lot. So this has been a big fall in a collective consciousness, where literally, like, even those who have been tasked with the mission of ascension and being the leaders to bring us all home have been forgetting who the fuck they truly are. That this is a role we're playing. Either they got stuck in spiritual egos or just playing smart. So either like superiority or inferiority. None of them are true. These are all distortions of the one consciousness. We're all one. We're not the same. We all have very unique roles to play, and there's no comparison. This is what you need to get, truly. Anyway, now, I know since the 3rd of October that this is fucking done. The opposition, the fallen, those that have reversed, inverted their blueprints to such an extent over many, many, many lifetimes, ascension cycles, are going back home to source on a one-way ticket. And they lose their individual, identity, soul, higher spiritual self identity. But the thing is, we're all being returned to source. We're all returning back home. We're all being rebirthed, and we're all leaving the old identity behind. Okay. But there's obviously a difference of you continuing your journey and doing this consciously and rebirthing and ascending in your body, which is a whole new path of ascension that we have created. Or if you go like, which is Starfire return, which is you return back to source, coming back and as a fully ascended being whilst in form. Or Stardust return, which is basically, again, those who have really fallen and digressed their blueprint, reversed it so much that they, and also because it's really, nobody is beyond redemption, okay? It's just, do you want to redeem yourself? Do you want to say sorry? Do you want to see your faults or do you not? And we all are being tested on this. So it's not even down to the crimes committed, as well as, yeah, of course, they play a role, but it's more about where's your consciousness at? What are you embodying? Okay, that's what's deciding right now how far you're quantum leaping all the way back home. And this is basically pretty much set, as well as, until it's done, it's not, fully done. And every now moment you have a new chance to elevate, to break out of old patterns, to just be done with the old, okay? And we've literally reached the point of no return. So since the 3rd, I saw this was the final marching order. The invaders are being kicked out. We can also see this again as a timeline bleed through in the collective of what's been unfolding lately. Yeah, there's been a lot unfolding lately. I'm not going to go through it all. I've been talking about it in my group calls. If you want to check in on them, you can. They are very well worth their money. And I know I've increased the price on them, but it's because, I mean, even 77 euros and 70 cents or 888, it's not going to really reflect the worth these activations have, as well as I'm trying to keep them, in a spectrum that is workable for both parties, so to say, the receiver and the giver. And you do have to make sacrifices on this journey and put your money where your mouth is. Now, anyway, many of these calls, they're all, I mean, lately they've been 5, 6 hours, 7 hours long. So that's just what I've been guided to put up as a price. And again, ultimately, they're worth so much more because, I mean, again, and we have another call. Although I thought we're not going to do another one like that. And I really tried to, okay, let's just make this an update and an activation kind of thing. It just wouldn't happen because it's all automatic writing. So it just happened the way it did. And we're going to do another call activation for those who are interested, but you really need to feel guided to, okay, it needs to be a hell yes, I'm all in, or otherwise just don't, really. Yeah. I need people who are fully committed, who are giving back to me, who are also really attentive, who are also integrating. It's like you need it all. You need people to be all in all ways, shapes, and form, not just say it because words are cheap, because it affects the fields we are working with, these group fields. And I've been working with the Godhead container, and before that, the Ascension, the Ascended Master container, and before that, we called it the Ascension Express. Okay, over the last 2.5 years, I have invested my heart, my soul, my time, my energy, all of my love into that project of bringing the original tribes back home for the reconciliation of the one, of all of creation. It's ascension. I know that what I came here to do is done, and it's what others haven't managed to complete before, as well as yet. It was all part of the plan. Like this is where we're fully remembering. Like I've been getting loads of downloads before the call, before the video, as it always is, about many of my paths, which are literally parallel lives, the more important ones, let's say, because I've also been a beggar and an orphan and many, many different things. Okay, even a moneylender, male, that was also a fun experience. Like these are just some of the things you pick up on your journey. And I really just dare to give you some hints of your whole multidimensional diamond avatar self. That's now a whole new identity that's coming fully online. So that's a whole new reality, a whole new identity, a whole new version of everything coming online. Because it's like all of the people you've been throughout time and space, and we had thousands throughout the ascension cycles, you're merging them all as one, and you're letting go of all of the pieces that are no longer, behaviors, patterns, templates that are not, this false fallen tree blueprint, and you let go of all that. It's like a sorting through. You are sorting the wheat from the chaff within your own self, and that then affects that out there. As you align yourself, everything aligns. That's where our power lies, and this is what we have forgotten. Enate era ushukunata. Because the issue has been the lack of integrity in the field, especially in spiritual and religious environments, okay, where people have, a lot to say, but they're not really embodying it. And that cannot be then transmitted because it's not lived and it's not embodied. I know after every call, every activation, anything and everything I said, I will be tested on. I will need to go deeper into, refine it more. Yeah, but I also know I have to embody it to a really good extent to even be able to bring that activation call online for it to have the power that it has, even with the few people that are still supporting me. So thank you for all the ones who've been unsubscribing and all of that shit. Anyway, now we keep on going because the thing is, I needed, like I have been saying, I've been dancing with burnout for the last 2.5 years. And it doesn't ultimately matter how much you cry, how much you ask and scream and cry for help, whatever you do. Okay, you could be the clown running up and down the stage, setting yourself on fire, and I still wouldn't come with a bucket of water and put out the fire. It's like people are just watching. It's like I'm just sometimes like, what the fuck is happening? But anyway, I get it, but it's also like, wow. But that's where this stops, because what is happening right now, this full and final awakening, which this activation call is pushing all the way the fuck through, is going to make all the difference. This is us fully breaking through and out of this freaking insane asylum, fear matrix that's all created by the mind. And I know I help people to return to their real true self and show them a whole new perspective of reality, of how things really are, because I can see through the eyes of God. Because I have let go of my false ego self many years ago. And it's not that you don't then have to still clear out all of the karmic shit from your vessel and your morphogenetic field, but you know how to play with your ego self or individual identity, as well as you know that you are to drop the wave in the ocean. I'm very good at being able to perceive everything from all sides. And that's what the God self embodiment is all for. And that's what the Godhead container was all for. And I'm also gonna probably tomorrow or today on the 10/10, Nata, gonna put together the Godhead container calls for the last year in a package, like at a reduced cost for those people who are interested and maybe taking these last moments in a false matrix to elevate themselves. Let's see what happens, because literally any moment now, any blinking of God's eye now, this false matrix is going to fully collapse in the physical. Etara, eshunata, ukurutu, ainate, enasakuru, ushunata. Like, again, I was shown on a third final eviction notice for all the invaders, for all those that have digressed too much. And I just heard people hurting others and cannot help themselves. And they're beyond sort of like being able to forgive themselves. Let's put it that way. Because again, nobody is beyond redemption. Nobody is. But you would need to be able to forgive yourself or ask for forgiveness from God. Okay? Because even a murderer, believe me, if they would turn around right now, doesn't matter how many people they've murdered, and be truly, really sorry and ask God for forgiveness, they would return back to heaven. We're all returning back to heaven, one way, shape, form, or another. But again, which way does make a difference? This is for me a trifurcation that's happening. I've spoken about this more in the last few calls. I don't think I'm going to go into this now because it's more of a complex description of what I see the new divine organic creatrix field, how the whole transition is going right now, where everybody is ending up when, and yeah, there's just a lot flying through the air. Like I can't put this together in a tiny little update. It's just not possible. So again, I've shared this over the last few group calls, and for those who are interested to understand the big picture more and give themselves some clearings, activations, and upgrades, check out my Ko-fi website. The links are below. And again, thank you for everyone who has been supporting me with like, share, subscribe, comments, donations. You might notice I haven't got my channel monetized, so I can speak freely and not give a shit, quite frankly. But therefore, I'm also very much, and then if people don't support me, yeah, I'm not going to keep turning up, quite frankly. I'm not going to keep doing it. And I've really cut off a lot of shit. So, first of all, before I'm going to go any further, so we have a call on the 11th of the 10th, which is a 1119 date. I was shown to do the call then instead of the 10/10. For several reasons, I'm not going to go into this now. Beyond also me even understanding why I do what I do when I do it. I just go with the guidance. It's like, hey, okay, let's do this, let's do that. I don't know why, but let's just do that, okay? Because this is what guides you all the way home. I've been living my life led by the heart, boundlessness, okay? Your life dedicated to love, which is your life dedicated to your own heart's intuition. No matter how crazy it sounds, no matter how much you don't want to do something, you're like, okay, Because you just have to do it for your own sake, your own God self, for you to return back home and stop letting your mind override what your heart already knows. And your mind will not understand why it knows the way what it knows, because it has access to quantum intelligence. It's your source center. You are now becoming a blue diamond rainbow sun, a sun star. Okay? This is the Christ template, the cosmic Christ, dragon starborn, reborn. You are a star. You are the sun. You are the source. But you need to return to that consciousness. And I know I help people with that. But yeah, you need to be all in. You need to give back to me. And you also need to apply what I'm saying and really pay attention and also really understand the value of what's been given to you. Just watching and nodding along is not going to do it, especially right now. So this is where integrity comes in, okay? And this is really where our long-awaited harvest and final crowning moment has arrived. But you need to claim it. I have fought so much for keeping on going, for literally for people to listen to me, because it's not even like us coming from a place of wanting to convince anyone of our truth. I just know I came here to return the real truth of the cosmic mother that she holds, because I am her representative. And it's beyond one person, obviously, and we're all part of her, the divine feminine, the Sophia, the real truth returned. I don't know how I started the sentence. Anyway, there's a lot flying through the air, and I'm sure this, transmission, like, it's funny because I could have done actually, because I wanted to record this for a while. And even the last few days when I wanted to, I was just too fucking exhausted. Just couldn't do it. It's just so much. Me constantly holding this field and like literally so little support, constantly dropping support. I've literally have surrendered everything. I've lost everything. But this is what it takes. And it's certainly not down to how you look. If you have a fancy car, a beautiful home, a job, okay, none of this fucking matters right now unless you truly have arrived home within your real true self. It's all about confidence. It's all about transcending our fears, doubts, fears, insecurities. That's what gets you ascended. You returning back to your real true self. And nobody else can tell you what that is. It means you need to sit with yourself, contemplating, just being present with every feeling and stop judging it, because that's the only sin that was ever committed. And just be present and love it all the way back and whole yourself. Become fully whole as you no longer reject and abandon, ostracize, gaslight any parts of yourself, especially not your own divine inner feminine wisdom, and not be distracted by this false fucking reality. It's a false simulation. It's not real. It's about 3% real, okay? And the rest is all fake, including the number of people we're looking at. I don't think I'm going to go into this. I know that for the last 2 calls I was shown, we have literally rescued so many souls that would have gone into Stardust Return and are now going to be rehabilitated instead. Literally 20 million souls plus I've been shown with the last call, no, the second last. And the last call helped us to activate or change the Black Swan event to a White Swan event. Because what is it even you want to perceive? What you believe anything is, whether it's Atlas, A1, whatever they're freaking called. It's like, I'm not going into this now. All right. It's the same with the Charlie Kirk thing. I discussed this in my calls. I can't go into this in these little videos because it's not just one or the other thing. It's not just right, wrong, good, bad. It's not just, no, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's this. Like for me to build a whole story and a whole picture, I need more time. And I'm not gonna just spend that on, YouTube, where if you understand anything, people like me, like us, who really carry the truth and have a pure heart, have been massively attacked. And especially our platforms, because all I want you is to give up, to feel miserable, betrayed, alone, and just to lose your mind. But now they're going to lose their mind, as we can already see. Anyway, on that note, okay, now we rise and freaking thrive because it's our time and we have reclaimed all of our life force, power, energy, multidimensional self. And I had to go offline to focus on the Godhead container to close this all off. But then I also fully just collapsed this. This is that. The Godhead has been fully anchored into the field. And we can celebrate now, literally. But I also know this last activation was to push all the way through, and I'm guided to do another one to just make sure this gets fucking done. Because the issue is, every time, it's not enough support in the field, literally. And I just know at this point, I literally could do this on my own. As well as if you want to keep, accelerating, expanding, ascending together with me, you're welcome to join me. If you do know the value of what I'm sharing, you can join us for the Rise of the New CHRISTOS-SOPHIA, which is a new hierogamic, holy divine love reunion blueprint, which is bringing us all together as one. It's a totality of the singularity. It's a new God sovereign free creator blueprint. Okay, because groups can never work out unless we're in that space, because you will always project your own fears, doubts, worries, insecurities, guilt, shame, whatever else you have still to resolve onto people like me, especially me, because I hold literally the highest frequency of authenticity available, and it will trigger anything false within you. And if you don't like to sit with that, you will project it back at me. I don't know how many people have told me, like, there's something dark around me or something heavy. You know what it is? It's because since the beginning of the fall, beings have been projecting their own shadows onto me. And I've been here since the beginning. And that's just not going to work any longer. So it's also funny, as an intention for today's video, instead of saying, I want to help clear, heal, balance, harmonize, upgrade, activate, everyone is listening to the highest extent. And then the fun part is, I then go through all of the clearings on behalf of all, together with you. Okay, but it clears through my field. And now, today, I was just saying, no, I just want to awaken everyone. And I like that shift because I really got over the last few months, no, it's not about healing everyone, especially not the ones who are not doing their own work or are projecting onto me that I'm not doing it right, which is one of my favorites. Ah! What did I just say before that? Can't even remember. It's happening a lot lately because the energies are so freaking high. There's a whole new level of plasma. Also on the 4th, so the day after the whole final evictions, I was literally shown my soul back in heaven. I know the cosmic monad because I hold the core of the cosmic monadic principle through, again, my many different incarnations. I've been shown again. I'm guided to share this, okay? I was the daughter of Mary Magdalene and Joshua in that timeline. I was the daughter of Akhenaten, Mary Tartan. I was the daughter of King Solomon, Basemath. Okay, so I've been born into these Christic lineages many times in order to clear them all out. So believe me, I've been shit-shifting like a motherfucking superhero. Whilst people are projecting onto me, oh, why do you feel like, why am I always like, I don't know, pissed off or, not running around happy, light and free. Yeah, because you assholes are not clearing your shit and I don't have to do it. People like me, okay? It's not just about me. When I say I, okay, it's like you need to feel out for yourself which part of the story you're standing on. Because a lot of people also think that when I talk about myself or what I'm doing is they think they're doing it, but actually, no, sorry, you're not actually doing that. You just think you are. All right. So are you really clearing, alchemizing like a motherfucking superhero? Or are you keep projecting your own insecurities, your own shadows onto other people? Because you know what people are really afraid of here is to face their own shadow and own it and integrate it and alchemize it. It's not about getting rid of it. That's where your power lies. This is where your life force lies. Okay, this is what the opposition has claimed, the dark ones. And people like afraid of the word darkness or like the whole theme darkness. You have been born from darkness. This is all about the dark matter body, the Russia body. If you want to look this up, what this means, look up Ascension Glossary. I also have a link to Ascension Glossary about the Illuminary body in my event description for what's now happening on the 11th. But basically, it's like a dark starry firmament. It's full of potential. It's like, dark matter, like they say in physics or, the old science. um, they don't know what it is, and it's just pure potentiality. And that's what you've been born from. It's the void. It's the cosmic mother's womb. You should not be afraid of the darkness. You should not be afraid of fucking demons. You are here, at least those who resonate with my work at a very deep level, as a guardian to reclaim our territory, to reclaim our lands, to reclaim our reality, to reclaim your consciousness and your truth, which is all about, really. But if you're not true to yourself, if you haven't returned to your true self yet, you can't see me clearly. And I've had this so much. People just can't see me. It's been difficult, to say the very least, with the very little support, constant dropping of support, more and more interference, more and more fuckery, to the point where I'm just like, okay, I let go of everything, everyone, and God's sovereign free self is just gonna finish this one way, shape, form, or another. But again, if you do want to help me, the rise of the new CHRISTOS-SOPHIA live Zoom call and activation, I've been guided to do on the 11th because, well, again, many reasons, but that's just what I'm being shown. Also, it's shown to me as the Holy Trinity, Holy Family reunion, the oneness. But again, also, every time you sign up to my calls, as soon as you sign up, you're part of the activation. This is just the call and activation. No, it's the before and after. That's actually the most important. And people are still not getting it. It doesn't matter how many times I say this, like to the people I've been working with, I feel. You know what I mean? Who know this already? So anyway, now it's all about the full rising. Like this is where you fully rise, shimmer, shine, okay? And just level all the way up. Because I know if I wouldn't do the video now, however imperfect this video ultimately is, and I could have done it better over the last few days, but I just didn't have the energy because my mind was more clear and there. Just be perfectly imperfect. I mean, I find perfection really boring. It's not real. I mean, the things people strive for, it's fake. People want to be some version of perfection of what I think the Christ is about or what Godhood is about. It's not. It's a whole new way of ascension, okay? A path we have paved. It's you merging God within the human. And the human is the multidimensional God self. You are every race, you're every being, you're every world, you're all of creation. That's what Godhood is. So you need to merge with everything so you can't have any more judgments running, which again, for me, is the ultimate only sin there ever was, because that's what has created fragmentation. Having discernment, telling people when they're off, or yourself, taking and giving accountability, responsibility for our realities and what doesn't work, it's something different than judgment. Because judgment is just a form of fragmentation. I spoke about this many times before. Anyway, so we're going to have this call, the rise of the new CHRISTOS-SOPHIA, on the 11th. Link is below in the description box. I also have still, I'm going to put in again the, I don't know now actually the title of that activation, but a free activation from, a group call we did some months ago. But I know they're all very, very, very powerful, the same as the ones on my SoundCloud. Loads of free activations there. So much, like all of my previous videos, I knew like this was done. I don't, anything I say now is ultimately just repeat. Anyway, this is really the moment for our full and final return, rebirth, the rising of the cosmic dragon self, dragon tribes, the original founder races, gray lines that hold the blueprints for creation within them. We command reality. We just have forgotten and we've given our power away, or rather it's been taken from us, and we didn't know how to defend ourselves. And what's happening lately or throughout the soul ascension cycle. It's you are correcting everything that went wrong in all other lifetimes, and this life is enough to go by. Yeah, so you don't need to know all of your ins and outs of everything, everyone you've been, what you've gone through, okay, in detail. Your intuition, that's what that is for. Because you also don't need the 10 commandments because they haven't helped us much. When you are connected to your true God self, when you just live by truth, literally, this is all about freaking truth. And people don't even know that they're lying to themselves all the time. They don't know what thoughts they have in their mind. Again, because like even if they have a thought of like anger or whatever, a lot of people, especially again in spirituality, and I know this comes from a good intention. Yeah, because you want to be a good person and you don't want to be angry. Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but there's a reason why you're angry. And if you don't allow that anger to rise, you will never change what made you angry. I think a lot of people are getting that now, finally. Would have shamed me previously. So after shit, I've been shit shifting all this time on everyone's behalf. Yeah, that what has not been resolved is going back on your backpack, and you have to resolve this now, because I have had enough, and we're done. Because I know I've learned my lessons, and because I carry the core of this cosmic monadic blueprint, which has been fully reassembled, the core manifestation template, the new cosmic monadic spirit body has been fully anchored, and it's just rolling out and activating in the field right now. And if other people telling you other things, okay, it's like, what frequency fields are being tuned into? Because frequencies, it's not about time, it's frequency. It's dimensional frequency bandwidths. And people can obviously say a lot of things, but what's really behind them? Are they really aligned with real truth? Are they really authentic? But you can't see it unless you are true, full, and authentic yourself. Because otherwise, when you're fake, you will be radiating, gravitating towards fake people. And we've all been, obviously. Because you don't know what's even not your true self until you have a mirror to reflect within upon to see what's amiss and what we still need to work on. Yeah, or where we maybe haven't been speaking our truth, where we have been holding back, where we have been playing small. I'm constantly deepening into more truth, more love, more wisdom, and there's a lot coming online. So again, it's not about who you've even been in other lifetimes. I don't care about that. It's just, it gives you hints like a detective game of, oh, okay, now it makes sense of why I'm going through what I'm going through and why I have had to deal with so much spiritual warfare. You have no idea what it has taken me to keep on going. And yeah, I had to pull back from public service, so to say, whilst I was still keep showing up for the activations and the calls for those who are also invested and see the value in it. But for other people, I just hadn't had any additional energy. I've done so much, again, over the last many years, so many writings, I've written many posts, but I've never published them over the last few months because I just was not guided to. Because a lot of this is actually wasted energy. And why should I give this hard-earned wisdom to people who don't know the value? Then you're wasting your time, your energy, your life force. And this has been the issue. This is how the siphoning starts, and this is where it ends. The same with all of the fuckery and interference ultimately comes back to our own fears, doubts, fears, insecurities. And that's where we're at now. This is where it started. We have arrived back to the start. And the key is confidence. And how do you get to confidence? It's you knowing yourself, really truly knowing yourself. Then you know yourself as God. And you also know that, like, I mean, if anyone even throws anything at you, at this point, you're just laughing as well as, yeah, there might be moments where you put them right and you say, no, I'm not that. You are that, especially when it comes to narcissistic projections and shit like that. Yeah, but otherwise, you're just like, whatever. Because you know it's not yours, so it cannot harm your field anymore, because this is all about the healing of the auric field, the morphogenetic field, which holds your blueprint. Once this is fully healed, which is literally now, New Earth is here, which is already fully secured since the 3rd. And this is why the energies are rising so much. Enotarata. So I've been shown my soul spirit is already in heaven. I'm literally being prepared for the royal weddings, our coronation. And this will become manifest now. The fun thing is, it's a little bit like a blind date because I don't know who the groom is. Ah, so the highest version of everything is just going to pop up in your reality as you show up as the highest version of yourself. Okay? And I had to and you need to let go. If you think goes without sacrifice, no. If you've learned anything from the story of the Christ, Siddhartha, it's all about sacrifice. Many of the prophets have been tested over and over and over again. And I know I came here as the second coming of the Christ, together with you. It's all consciousness we are returning. But I also know I hold the core of the blueprint. And she don't care anymore what people think about me saying this. Because I know everybody will just remember now, and I've been shown this many years ago. And that's the thing, because now it's like you just need to know who the fuck you are, okay? And reality will remember now. And they will start treating you like this because the level of disrespect, lack of support, people gaslighting me, projecting their shit onto me has been literally mind-blowing and ruined my life. Because these are the black magic spells. This is how it starts. People not owning their shit and projecting their shit onto you. And we have done this all to one another. You need to be very conscious of your thoughts. That comes through contemplation, being honest to yourself and not telling yourself if you feel anger or jealousy or hate or whatever else yucky feeling that no one of us ultimately wants to feel. But stay with it and be present and go deeper of why you're even feeling this instead of telling yourself, no, I'm not feeling this because it's an impure thought. No, go deeper. Why? Because again, your shadow, shadow is light, light is shadow. Same as our weaknesses, our strengths, our weaknesses. Everything exists on both sides of the coin. People are afraid of their own shadow, of the darkness. That's most of what your multidimensional blueprint is about. This is why shadow integration is so huge. And I know I'm a master alchemist and I really help people to get there. But you need to still put the work in. I can't do this for you. I say this over and over again. Yeah? So this is where we're at now. It's like you are here as the example, as the leader, as the new guardian of New Ascension Earth, free, 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 Ukuru Usununta Aina Seate. And you're here just to show people, hey, this is how I did this. I know this is really hard, but this is how this gets done. Especially now. Because this is where everything now falls into place. Enuturu Usunutu Ukuranta. The field is set, the field is freaking lit. We have a whole new level of plasma coming online. A whole lot is going to happen over the next few days. So what I'm seeing is the next few days are going to catapult us all the way across the Rainbow Bridge for those ready and who are, aligned with this. Are you ready? 10, 10, 9. Usununta. And do it. The Cosmic Rainbow Bridge is lit. The Divine Blueprint has been fully reclaimed. You just need to align with that now. And those who are not aligning with that, and then there are three ways home, whether you do this in your body consciously, or whether you drop your body and then go through kind of battle and then come back, or one-way ticket back to source and you'll just be re-encrypted and you lose your own kind of soul identity. And I know that with the second last activation, we literally managed to retrieve 5 of the 25% that were going back on a one-way ticket, which is about 20 million souls. If I've got this correct, because I know I got it wrong in another call. I got the numbers wrong. Oh yeah, sorry, just one. All right, sorry. For those who not have been part of these calls, obviously. If you take, for example, okay, the way I'm being shown the numbers of what's really going on here, okay? If you take about 8 billion people on the earth, okay, what I'm being shown is only 5% of that is really truly real. The rest is all fill-ins. It's artificial reality. It's what some people call NPCs. It's background energy. Anyway, so The 5% leaves us with, if I get the number right, with about 400 million people, okay, of real soul-embodied beings on this planet. And I was shown before that second last call that 25% of that we're going back to source on a one-way ticket, and we reduce that number with that call by another 5%. And again, the last call from the Black Swan to the White Swan event, I think most people might know what the Black Swan event is about. And if people are afraid of Project Blue Beam or PSYOPs in general, alien invasions, oh my God, believe me, like all of this Blue Beam project and PSYOP, I mean, this whole reality is that, okay? You're already in it, so don't you worry about it. I know we have flipped this around. Anyone trying to tune into these comments right now or any of the narratives playing out, literally, the best tip I can give you: free your mind of any preconceived ideas, belief systems, connect to source, and ask. Connect to it yourself. You hold the power. You just have to remember that you do. And me, going on and on about it is not going to do it. You have to experience it for yourself. And that's what's going to happen now. So I know that enough of us, the quantum is there, the level has been reached. We've already pushed through the threshold. We are literally standing at the edge of greatness, and we're jumping all the way into the void of our own consciousness. And this is where things get fun, at least for the ones who've done the work, okay? For the ones who haven't, not so much. As well as, let's see how it all plans out, because again, we are constantly co-creating reality. Okay, and this is what I constantly have been doing with these group calls. We, by consciously at the highest level, co-creating how this ascension is going, as I've been shown by source. Because I know I hold the codes, and the ones who've been working with me hold the codes, and we've been cultivating this field and this consciousness. And I know it's there now. This is the new cosmic monad, the new core manifestation body, fully online. And it's like you either up level or, you don't. It's like you're forcing peace onto the field. You're forcing reconciliation and unity onto the field because it's a frequency thing now, because the God self has taken over, okay? We have returned God source consciousness, and I know I came here to finish what all of my forefathers literally weren't able to, as well as they were never really meant to. But I also know what I came in with and what we did with the Godhead container was literally to repair all of, like, this ascension wasn't going well. Like, what would have happened, what many have been talking about, the splitting of worlds, of leaving 85% of people, like even if you take 85% of the 400 million, okay, it's too many motherfucking people. Or I don't care what number you're taking it off. Okay, and leaving them behind in some fallen matrix to go down in black hole 4. No, it's not going to happen. Eso na te ate. We're not leaving anyone behind. That's a shitty version of ascension. And I know I came here to correct this. And I know we did. Again, when I speak from I, it's really the great I am. I know me as a representation of the Sophia, of the cosmic mother principle, is way beyond one little person. Yeah, you're representing, God source consciousness, basically. Hey, I'm everyone. But that's what you need to get, that's the thing. The fun part is, it's like, yeah, people are going one way or another, but it's like, there's only one of us here. Nobody has ever been born. Nobody ever dies. Yeah. And that's the level of consciousness. You need to transcend all of your fears of dying, suffering, pain, of bad shit happening to you. You need to surrender all of your materialistic possessions. I've given everything away several times over. I haven't had a home to my own name for the last year. And it's been a struggle since I literally opened the whole container up. Because I've been under massive amounts of warfare. And again, most of us have. And this is where we claim all of our power back. But that's the thing. If you be the victim and you're just like playing small, it's not going to happen. Yeah, you take that victim energy and you embrace it because, yeah, we have been victimized. But then you turn it around because you also know that You are here to transcend it, this whole victim-victimizer consciousness, and rise above it and reclaim all of your power, because you understand the whole fall happened for us to multiply and expand the blueprint, mix all of the DNA together and create a whole new race. Yeah, so this is like the illumination, like I could feel today. Oh my goodness, like I felt like I was about to have a heart attack. I really don't like this. Like I've been feeling a lot of anxiety, but more in regards to excitement as well as peace at the same time. But it was a lot of, because I could literally feel my Kundalini rising, and like my heart is about to break fully wide open. And I know it's been very, if you are under so much attack constantly and people judging you for it on top of it, which are the ones who are, having the same issue, which is the fun part. Because we've all been massively, I mean, if you don't understand what's been going on here, you know that we've all been under spiritual attack and enslaved and fucked with, you know, there's still a little bit more to remember. But I know that there's so much remembering coming through now. And I know this video, even though I find it already as not so perfect, because there was so much, I could have said so much better. And I feel like I'm just babbling on, so I'm just going to stop it here. But I know it's like the energy which I'm speaking from that is embodying everything that's been going on in my whole consciousness since the beginning of time, ultimately. It's an embodiment that you transmit. And I know sound and light showing my picture on a video, and the sound I've been shown is some years ago, like to do videos because you can transmit sound and light. That's what's being transmitted, and this is what's activating you, okay? Beyond the words being misunderstood, because the thing is, when people come from the false ego self, they will never understand you. I could do a perfect presentation here and say all of the things in the best, highest way possible, the way I would like them to be transmitted, and it would still not get through to the people who are stuck in their false ego self, as well as that's going down a cosmic toilet together with the false matrix simulation. And you need to understand it's a simulation. It's based on the one, deepest held expectations and projections, because we all together hold the blueprint for reality. And this is where you stop giving your power away to anyone out there thinking, I don't care whether it's ETs, whether it's a president, whether it's, I don't know, your mother, okay, who holds more power over you. If you are at one with Source, you know God wins. There is no question, there's no more fear. This is what gets rid of all of the anxiety, fears, doubts, worries. That's you fully confident. And again, that confidence at one with God also has a huge humbleness, because ultimately, you know, you're never going to know everything. And who knows what the fuck happens ultimately, because until it has happened, it's not really fully, um, hasn't fully collapsed into the field yet, because there are a lot of variables. And the best thing you can really access, especially lately, since we shifted to the new quantum field, is highest quantum possibilities. But it's obviously, we are not the only creators here, and everybody in the collective, every soul embodied being has a say so, and it happens through your own unconscious ultimately. Every time you click a post, a like, or think, no, it's not right, I'm not aligning with this, or you're very conscious and not agreeing with something, but free from resistance and judgment, you're just like discernment, yeah? It's like, no, this is not for me. That's not true. You break through all of these programs and you return the truth. It's all about the inner alignment. Because people can say a lot of things. Cheap, talk is cheap. But what are you really embodying? That's the whole thing. This is also where the false light has been fully exposed, all of the false light matrices. They had a whole false heaven on earth. I know also with the third last call, we fully collapsed. And this was literally the whole work I've been doing since the last few months. Well, I've been going through hell in my private life, believe me. And I'm still not really fully out of it because I don't still have a home. Anyway, we have collapsed this whole false 5D ascension. I know. It was a massive thing. This is also why I had to retreat, because whilst everybody's clearing like crazy out there and like all of these spiritual egos are fighting one another, I'm like just observing and doing my thing in the background, because we know we will be known for what we have done in the unseen, not what people pretend. Like, again, it would just be known. Yeah. So there's no more proving yourself, convincing anyone of anything, trying to make anyone see anything, as well as, yeah, that was part of the process because you need a collective buy-in. I had to convince people of the truth, so to say, or help to make them see, okay, for us to pass a threshold, because one person obviously can't do that. As well as we are now at a stage when you have returned to oneness. Yeah, ultimately, I've been working a lot on just pulling it all the way back and just transmitting through the cosmic emerald heart network, the new telepathic network that's connecting us all as one heart, one cosmic heart, which is what this ascension is all about. It's connected to the cosmic emerald heart, emerald tree of life. It's also part of the activation, as well as the luminary body. And again, these codes are very powerful, but really tune into whether, this is truly for you. Again, the details are below in the description box. But yeah, this is where I know, because I'm holding this whole feminine blueprint as well as this divine union blueprint, the Holy Trinity principle at a very deep level on behalf of us all. But this is where, all of our hard work is finally paying off. And I just know we will be reunited, we will be reconciled. Like I already know since today, miracles are already happening. Massive feeling of family lines. Again, our own, like when we have mommy daddy issues, let's say, okay, which most starseeds will definitely have. Because again, it's your own inner fragmentation of masculine feminine principles that are ultimately playing out for your parents, any family we've been born into, you know what I mean? Doesn't matter how good or bad it was. It's all part of the plan to get you where you need to be. I know everything that happens in my life, no matter how difficult it was all exactly what I needed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have co-created it. But it doesn't mean that I enjoy it in the now moment. I will rant and rave, as well as I hold it in total neutrality, because I hold myself neutrality and I care for myself and I love myself so much that I'm holding space for every emotion, every thought, as well as I don't identify with them. They both end. Yeah, so you're not getting dragged into these, clearings thinking like, oh, you're so fucked and you're so terrible. No, you're just a character. We're all just characters. We're all just been played by God. Again, murderers, child rapists included. It's not real, it's a simulation. I call it a virtual torture chamber. Some call it a mental institution at the moment. And yeah, the risk of psychological fallout, I've spoken about this before, was very real. And we're keeping this to a minimum. But yeah, just, cloak yourself in God's light. You're safe. And that's the thing. You need to transcend any fears of death, again, like losing everything, anything. And this letting go, just like you need to give up everything, especially material things, because again, this is not real. And when you fully merge with your diamond avatar self, your light body, you are reality and it's instant manifestation. Anything you want, you can teleport, you can manifest whatever you want. You don't need fucking money. We don't need med beds. We heal ourselves. It's the whole consciousness thing. I mean, all of these themes have been going into the Charlie Kirk thing as well, because we literally recoded the whole thing as a mass awakening for everybody to see that this is a movie, no matter what story was even behind it, before we even figured out that it was all fake as fuck. But it doesn't matter. There's so many layers to everything. It's all perfect. That was a huge quantum catalyst after the 9/9 activation we did. So anyway, I know we did it. We're here now, and we're just completing this massive quantum breakthrough leap. I was shown I just have to do this, do a video. I'm just gonna post this. I might do because I have so many posts written, but I'm not doing it for tonight. Just editing and finishing this off because it's very late and I'm tired and I need to go to bed. So I'm just gonna post this video perfectly imperfect as it is. And I know that just the transmission of the frequency of true authenticity, self-love, confidence, and knowing your value and worth, and no longer just throwing your pearls in front of swines. And it's not I love pigs. It's not about that. It's not about calling anyone a pig, but you know what I mean? Like when you just, like, I've literally been shown, I've been like spoiling people with champagne. It's like, when you get champagne every day, day in, day out, you're just drinking so much champagne, you're like, "Ugh, I don't want that champagne anymore." You're just like kind of saturated with it. You know what I mean? It's like anything we really, really like, if we have too much of it, we get too full of it and we can't appreciate it anymore. I've shown that. So that's also something to keep in mind. Too much of a good thing oversaturates. So anyway, and then I don't know your value anymore. And take you for granted. That's another huge theme. Like people just really taking you for granted, not really valuing, appreciating you, and you just can't feel it. And we right now need, like, I can see this as part of the new blueprint. Again, it's like you need to ride and die. You need people to sacrifice everything for you. I've sacrificed everything to bring everyone home. But, people don't do the same for you. And I can give you breadcrumbs. And I think they're still giving you too much. That's the fun part. And I don't understand what this takes. You need to sacrifice everything. And again, this is also the funny thing. You could have a millionaire, billionaire, okay, who would be able, at a mental level, so to say, at a consciousness level, to let it all go from one moment to the next. They're not attached to any of that, and they would be able to make ascension. You could have a poor person who has literally nothing left, and they still would be clinging on to the last bit of material, I don't know, false safety they have, okay, and they wouldn't. It's not like this is not it's a purity of the heart. The same as like a lot of people got really confused and really took the wrong path and got delayed and took off the windy, windy garden path. But if your heart and intentions are pure, don't worry. But you need to want to redeem yourself and correct what went wrong. That's the only way you align your blueprint. It's the only way to ascend. It's alignment with your true self, but also the virtues, ethics, and morals of what the Christ, the crystalline consciousness, crystalline clarity stands for. But again, if you would put this down in a book, it's going to do the same damage as the Ten Commandments have. It's not going to do any good, and we've seen it. Because people get stuck in their head. Right, wrong, good, bad. No. Multidimensional reality is not like that. Multidimensional rainbow colors. That's you seeing through the eyes of God, through your own monadic 12-pointed clock position. Everything from all perspectives, because right now this is the whole, you are your own monadic presence right now. I've spoke about this also in the last call about how I see this all shifting. I think I did. I might do in the call on Saturday. Yeah, I will do that. Of how I see that the whole harmonic universe is how this is all shifting into this divine organic creatrix field and what is soul monadic consciousness that you are now representing as an individual self. But again, you're no longer an individual self, no longer, because we've never been just a single soul, when we feel alone and all of that stuff. No, you're always part of monadic groups. It is the whole, God is the cosmic monad. That's what we have returned. That's why I've been putting everything into, all of my eggs into one basket, and they have all hatched in some way, shape, form, or another. All right, this is us fully breaking out of the cosmic egg, and you just need to trust the journey. And whatever comes out of you, it's funny because I literally just feel like, what have I even talked about over the last, I don't even know how many minutes. So anyway, I leave it here now. I hope some of this made sense. If not, I know my frequency transmitted did the rest. It did the trick. It did the magic. I'm just gonna leave it here. Just know we are already home, okay? But you need to keep pushing through. You need to fully reclaim this for yourself. Like it's not done until it's done. The same as I can't fully relax until we are literally in paradise. But I know my soul and spirit already is. Like we have done this. We have returned home. Everyone, the Emerald Order mission of returning all souls home has already been fully set up for now to complete because it's already happening. Again, people are already leaving and transitioning, yeah, if you haven't noticed. But obviously not everybody who's transitioning, you know what I mean? Like there are many different paths, all right? Like it doesn't mean that anyone transitioning now, like, is not going to come with us. That's bullshit. I know of a couple of people who died over the last week, and I know I've been shown They're quite happy and they're waiting for us to see them. As we remember, death is not real. It's not true. Okay? But this is where some souls are being returned back to source, like real death, so to say. But it's not really. You're just, returning to your source self and you're just going to be reborn as something else. It's like you choosing oblivion because you don't want to remember all of the shitty things you did and redeem yourself for them. And that's okay. But there's forgiveness for everyone. It's like there ultimately doesn't need to be anything forgiven for, okay? If you understand, we've all been played by God, everybody has been playing a role, because in every movie, you need all kinds of characters, no? You need the villains, you need the good guys, you need all of the extras, you need, all of the other people there. But we have forgotten that we're watching a movie and that we are actors in a game. But this is where you up level, and this is where you transcend all of these illusions. It's the final curtain reveal. I mean, this is the great awakening, the great reveal, everything we ever talked about. And I don't care how many times I talked about this. We could have ascended many times over the last few years. Okay? Let me just say that. And it's definitely not down to me and my lack of trying and hard work that we haven't yet. I'm not blaming this on everyone. It's just anyone, everyone, exactly. It's a happening. And I know that also all of the waiting, all of the holdups has literally enabled us to bring all souls home, to not leave anyone behind, because again, one version of ascension would have been of leaving 85% of people behind in some fallen matrix for another like hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Just crazy things, okay? Which is all to do with a black hole fall. And we're not doing this. So these people are either resetting through Bardo or are again on a one-way journey back to home and they come back as something else. Yeah, that is a much better option. And again, there's nothing to fear. Death is not real. And anyone who's transitioning now is, like they're not reincarnating in the old way. They're going to get a life review. They have the chance to redeem themselves and then choose what I want to come back as. But again, what kind of level of reality, what frequency bandwidth version of Earth they're coming back to, is down to the frequency you have basically anchored in now. Okay, but this is not 5D ascension. The baseline is 7D. There's ultimately just one divine organic creatrix field. There's no more division into different harmonic universes as such. It's all one field. But they're also kind of three different versions of Earth, but they're all connected. That's what I'm being shown. And heaven is now physicalized. There's no more heaven, there's no more hell. It's all been merged. Literally, heaven and earth have already been merged. Now, I'm going to talk about more of this more coherently, hopefully, in our call on Saturday. And again, I know whatever comes out of me, and please trust yourself with that also. When I speak about me, I really mean I'm speaking from the great I am, okay, as an example. So if you can find yourself in them, just know that. Just trust. It's like, because where we're going to now, it's like we're getting rid of language, numbers, okay, which is freedom. Default account gone. Sonata. Confirmation. Because you can't, like the fallen consciousness is directly connected to language. The telepathic field is way beyond all of that. And this is where everything is just known and read and seen and understood beyond egos and language and all of that shit, separation getting in the way. And you just see people for who they truly are. And we will all just remember who the fuck we are, who the fuck anyone and everyone else is, the role everybody has played. True intentions are being read right now. Okay, people can't, like, the truth is just being revealed one way or another. Whether it's Freudian slips, people can't help themselves to speak the truth. It's going to come out some other way. It's like you either want to be the truth teller or something else is going to do it for you. Like, this is last chance saloon for those who still want to redeem themselves and make the wrongs right, because that's how you align your blueprint. You're not doing it for anyone else. And you don't need to forgive anyone either, because at the highest level, it's all perfect. We've all just been playing our roles. The biggest assholes, have been our biggest blessings, because again, all of the hardship, all of the resistance, all of the fuckery has made me claim back my power. But I can also see how it breaks people and you give up. And you just go into victim consciousness totally. Whilst you think you're not a victim and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway, okay. I leave it here. Now, let's rise and thrive. Our time is now. For those who want to join me for the rise of the new CHRISTOS-SOPHIA and everything. I know these descriptions, event descriptions of my events are quite long, but they're the same as my posts. There are activations within themselves. There's a lot of work, energy, time, love that goes into them. And that is transmitted through every word. Whether you are aware of it and can see its value or not. I know I did my work. And that's all you really need to know. You know, everything I've done was from a pure heart, and you will have been tested of why you do what you're doing. Are you doing it for your ego? Are you doing it for the ego of other people? Are you doing it because it's the right thing to do and because you're here to return God's truth and do God's work and true devotion and service to the divine? Because it's literally all that counts right now, because that's who you are. You're serving yourself ultimately. The new blueprint is all about service to all. No more service to self, no more service to others. It's the both end. And I know people like me have literally put everyone else and everything else before them. And it's like, oh, now it's my turn. So it's like those who've been over-giving, over-serving, they now need to receive more. And those who've been receiving more and who've been, you know, just happy gallivanting around and serving themselves and think that service to others is not really part of this, they need to step up in service to all now. Because people like me have done a whole lot of serving, and this is where the script has flipped, okay? We need to, again, this is all the new realities. It's like givers giving to other givers, and it's just a whole giving bonanza, and it's just multiplication upon multiplication. And nobody's afraid of not being enough or not having enough. Hallelujah. It's us having truly returned to our true self, our true worth, value, wholeness, when nothing is missing. And this then now reflects back to us. Like now our inner state will also be reflected back to us by our reality. But again, it took a while to get there because we're working with a whole collective field that's constantly being influenced by all of the fuckery. Yeah, I've seen it so many times. It's like, anyway, it's the fears, doubts, fears, insecurities now constantly being obviously amplified through all of the psychic attacks, mass media, all of the outside influences, you know, people around you. So that's why it's so important to retrieve your own truth, not just also just believe or swallow up what I'm saying, but again, apply this for yourself and figure it out for yourself, because until then, it's all just hearsay. Yeah, this is what this whole experience is about. It's about experience. So you can experience for yourself what is really working for you, what is not. It's not about good or bad. It's like we're all very unique beings. We have all very unique bodies. We're all very different. And what works for me may not work for you, you know, and vice versa. So you just have to, you know, figure it out as you try things out. And this is where you should really lose the fear of doing it wrong or anything at all, because you understand it's just a dream. Now, let's wakey wakey. It's time, okay, to your true brilliance, the perfection, as well as the shit show. You know what I mean? Where you can see it, oh my God, what the fuck? As well as, oh my God, what the fuck? This is amazing. It's the both end. And I can feel these polarities so strongly in me lately. It's quite wild. And you hold them within a neutrality, okay? So just be present, really. Just be present. Allow these different, like, we are going through a huge recalibration. Just go. You're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions. You just allow them to clear through you, okay? Just be the observer of your experience. Don't identify with it. The only choice you ever had was between love and fear in every now moment. And all of these choices accumulated to where you're at now. It doesn't matter what your life looks like right now. You just need to know who you are inside. And that's going to be reflected back to you now through the environment, through your reality, because we are the projectors of reality. We're projecting all of this out. So as we shift the way we perceive everything and see the perfection behind everything playing out, no matter what the appearance, that's what returns. It's you seeing through the eyes of God is what returns God's kingdom queendom to earth, and it already has. I know the throne of God has already been returned over the last month. I can't remember the dates of all of these things. I've been very busy. Let's put it that way. Anyway, okay, I stop here now. So anyone who wants to join us for the call and activation, that's always super powerful. It's already in the field. Yeah. And it will go until the 13th. Over the next few days, I really see this is like where reality is going to shapeshift literally around us. And I know it already has massive shifts. I already feel it in the parallel reality as well as some aspects of reality are still lacking. Or it's like yeah, anyway. Not lacking. It's like it's behind, it's like it's not as quick. Just one other thing, just know that this is not about I need to really stop now. This is not about I just stopped now, I forgot. Okay. I need to go to sleep. No, thank you, thank you, thank you. So much love, so many blessings, and yeah, let's see what happens next. Just know, okay, every divinely inspired action is also the true divine masculine right now, fully rising in union with the divine feminine, the heart. It's like divine union time. Yeah, it's us coming home. I mean, it's the whole thing. I'll talk about more on the call. Anyway, that's what's here now. Holy Trinity. I forgot again. All right, I'll leave it here. So much love, so many blessings. This is probably one of my worst videos. I find it actually quite hilarious. All right. Perfectly imperfect as we are, let it be enough. Okay? And if that's the only thing I could transmit with this video, it was well worth it. Don't be afraid to be the fool, because it's the happy fool who becomes the hero of this whole video game and gets to ascend. Okay, so don't take yourself too seriously. Humor is what's going to save us all. And the truth. All right. So much love, so many blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all your hard work, hanging in there. Okay, and keeping on going, because it's, I mean, this journey does like full ascension. Again, you will be tested on everything. It takes a lot of endurance, a lot of resilience. Yeah, again, look at the stories of those who came before us. They did not have it easy. But this is where the trials, tribulations end for those that have succeeded to transcend their false ego self and have reclaimed their true God self, their own unique version of that. And nobody can tell you what that looks like, okay? It's not one size fits all, not at all. But there's a core foundation that we have built that anything can be created from now. And that's us fully at home within the heart, loving yourself, true self-love. Okay, not the fake. And it can only come from you knowing yourself and spending time with yourself. All parts, fully reclaimed, fully returned, fully whole. That's us ascended out of the false matrix now. Nobody left behind. Let's see how this whole transition is going to go. It's going to get pretty wild. It already has. Like literally, like, the show has started. But you also, it's not just about sitting back, eating popcorn, enjoying the show. You will be the lead characters revealed now. And all of the plot twists of this crazy story. All right. So much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I see you at home.